Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Global Sassitude. And today we are going to talk about a topic on leadership because women leadership is something that probably wasn't very much talked about. Yeah, we have seen a lot of male leadership and women. We are now coming up with leadership positions, be it the top C-suite, management, entrepreneurs. And today we are going to look into how to become an authentic leader and what authenticity is about when it comes to leadership. Hi, this is Pauline Teo. I'm a financial wellness mentor.
Hi, my name is Shady and I'm a beauty business coach.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I help women rise, grow, and rewrite the rules after divorce.
So we have three women in different age group, his 40s, 50s, and we have taken different parts of a management and leadership position. We were also a follower where we started work as well. So we definitely want to hear more from Lisa, Shirley, and of course, I will share a bit as well about what it means by authentic leadership and why I'm talking about this so much right now. So probably to have a start, Shirley, you have been running an organization for quite some time, and I know you have even exited your company. Now is going through an even bigger phase of a merger with another company. So what is your definition of being an authentic leader? Or maybe you want to give us an example what it means by being an authentic leader.
Absolutely. So I'm a bit bold when it comes to, and very creative when it comes to decisions. I grew up, and I don't want to say I grew up poor, but we didn't grow up with a lot. So we had to be creative sometimes, and do it that way. And I just feel like that has given me so much like keys, golden keys for life. It was going through the things that we did go through as a child, to make creative, bold, decisions in your business. The one thing that I realized very early on when I wanted to start working for myself is I wanted to make others feel great and feel special. Because I remember there was a time when I got married to my second husband. What sounds like I've got 3, 4, 5. I only have 2 husbands, so it's the second husband. But when I remember I felt nothing for myself. I didn't love myself. And I couldn't even look in the mirror and see anything that I loved. And it was sad. I remember one day sitting at the, what do you call them? The therapist. And she said, it's so sad for her because she's looking at me and I'm so beautiful. And why aren't you seeing it? And I'm just like, I don't know. I want to see it. The main thing that I realized is a lot of people was going through this, and a lot of people are still going through this. They are in close proximity to people who's breaking them down and not making them feel special or making them feel great. And I wanted to create a movement. I wanted to make a big impact in people's lives, and I have done that. And I do that every single day. Even if I'm sad, even if I'm not in the right headspace, even if I'm not, able to, I find it in me. Because if I can let someone go out there and think a little bit differently, do a little bit differently, then my job for the day is done.
So Shirley has brought up a very important point, which is to be vulnerable. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong, I think, even as a leader, to be vulnerable in front of our team members. But of course, we are not going to say every time we are in front of them, we are vulnerable. But there are times we really need to show them our vulnerability, and there's nothing wrong with that. That actually being able to show as a leader our vulnerability is actually powerful because we are confident enough, strong enough, and to let them know that we are also human beings and support them as well when they show their vulnerability towards us. That as a leader, we are here for them. That is what authenticity is about, right? To be able to show the real self. So how about Lisa? What is your take about the authentic leadership? Maybe you want to give us your perspective because you have been like 40 years working with some people, and right now maybe you want to share with us your definition of being an authentic leader and what have you learned from maybe one of the leadership or leaders that you have seen in your organization before being authentic.
As a leader, I like to, if I go back, like working for 40 years, probably the best experience I had was about a period for around 6 years where I led teams of people up to about 17 people. in my team between 13 and 17. And even with my new goals, working with women, visualization, I like to look at people individually and what they like individually or as a person. I'm not sure if that makes sense. An example being when I led a team of 17, if I had a staff member that didn't like to say hello, I didn't say hello to them. But about 10 o'clock, after they'd had a cup of tea, then they were happy. If I had team members that I knew there were jobs that they really didn't like, actually, I didn't force those jobs on them. I actually found other jobs that they were good at that they liked to do. So individualization, what I learned by giving people what they liked individually, like one person was always late in one day of the week because they dropped their child at school. I didn't go mad at them. I just let them know that that's okay. Because when you give a little bit to people, you get a lot more out of people, out of your employees. And I tried to lead one of the lessons that I learned from I did have a lot of male directors. You talked about women leaders before. I always tried to look at the way that my directors led. I looked up to them. They led very well. And they always they led by example. And that, as a leader, that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned was to lead by example. Lead with the example and let people lead. And when you lead and you have expectations of people and you put the same expectations on yourself, you gain respect from people. And respect is one of the most important parts of leadership. A few of the roles that I've had, I found that the management demanded respect, and demanding respect doesn't actually create a harmonious workplace. So, just look at people and give them their little individual synchronicities. Is that the word? Synchronicity is the word that they like and they want. And that helps. That helps. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right. Really, I believe Lisa have got a lot of experiences in managing and leading people. And true enough, especially when we are leading the younger team members, one of the key things definitely they will look at is leading by example. I totally agree with what Lisa is saying, that being authentic would just mean not to have a double standard. So if we were to say we would like you to behave in a particular way, then as a leader myself, I should be behaving in a particular way, right? For example, just sometimes as simple as punctuality. So let's say we are looking at being punctual for meetings. Meeting is going to start at 10 o'clock. So everybody get ready by 9:55, 9:58, be there. And me as a leader, I'm also there by 9:55, 9:58, so that 10 o'clock, the meeting can start promptly, so it doesn't waste anyone's time. So it cannot be a case that because I'm a leader, I wait for everyone to turn up and I'm like 5 minutes late. So eventually, I think the team members would just say, holy shit, she's going to come here 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. Why not? I just come 5 minutes later. Right. I would have to wait anyway. The meeting is not going to start. So that sets the culture of the organization. And really, if you want to be authentic, we really need to lead by example. So this is the key thing when we talk about authentic leadership. Now, maybe Shirley want to share with us, is there someone, a particular situation that you have seen that you really find that this person is really authentic and you want to learn from him or her in this kind of like a leadership style?
Oh, absolutely. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Dan Lok. So he's a Chinese guy and he's really good with sales. He calls himself the king of sales. And one of the things I was looking at a YouTube video one day from Dan Lok, and the way he was speaking and he was presenting himself on the YouTube channel, I actually signed up to one of his training sessions. And then I bought a bigger program with him to teach me, sales. And the way he was speaking in that YouTube video was exactly the same way that he spoke in the program, and how he was very straight up, very upfront, and just very, very authentic. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love his style. I used to never, like, I swear a lot, like I've got a really bad mouth. But I never used to swear during like if I have to be professional. And I don't want to say Dan Lok taught me to swear, but he taught me to feel a little bit more comfortable. And when you're making a mistake or when something isn't right or something technical isn't working, he just said, okay, So just remember, I want to bear with me. I want you to remind yourself that I am also human and stuff does happen. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's got such a huge follower base. And even there's sometimes things that's not going right with the technicalities of people or whatever not coming onto camera. And he dealt with it so beautifully. He's a big role model to me. I love Dan Lok.
Thank you. That's really true. It's really sometimes we are saying, be real, even when we are on stage or we are presenting. And leadership is not just about leading somebody or leading a group. Leadership is also about self-leadership. And
Yeah.
Shirley has brought up a really good example of someone who has presented himself really in terms of self-leadership when he's talking, when he's mentoring someone, right? Or when he's sharing, it is all about authenticity and be myself. Of course, we are not talking about someone you continue to sweat a lot, but we do not need to be perfect. Being imperfect is perfect. There are
Yes.
so many times that as a leader, we think we have to be perfect and we stop being vulnerable. We sometimes don't even allow ourselves to make some mistakes. Certain mistakes are okay, right? We make mistakes every day. Just learn from it and do our best not to do it another time. Now, that brings on to the next point. I think Lisa would probably be the one of the best spokesperson to share with us on this. Now, as women, maybe you have also just now shared with us about your leadership, how many teams you have managed, and as much as like 17 team members. So my question to you, sitting in a managerial position, I believe many of our audiences here probably are ladies. As a woman, what is the difference? Or is there something that we need to do in terms of being an authentic leader? Like from the women's perspective or being a women leader?
Being a women leader as well, I find being in my 50s, it doesn't matter whether you're in your 30s, 40s or 50s. But as a woman leader, again, I said about leading by example, but also setting the standard, making sure that staff are aware of whoever it is that you're working with, making sure that they're aware of their obligations and what they're supposed to be doing, making sure that they have clear goals. I recently was in a team where I wasn't leading. I was in the team and I had no clear goals. And I actually had other team members where you feel a bit lost if you don't have clear goals. And also, you need to make sure staff are motivated in the roles that they're doing. So as a woman leader, that's one thing that I really impress upon women leaders, to make sure that people are motivated, people are like the roles that they're doing. If they need to upskill, make sure they upskill. Don't just assume that they can do something because their job description says they can do it. And also, as a leader, recognise that there's people, sometimes you are, I always get it wrong, is it the square peg in the round hole? Yeah, the square peg in the round hole. Don't force people to do roles that they're not suited for. Don't ask people to go and stand on a stage and speak in front of 500 people if they're really not comfortable doing it. And normally, if you've got a team, there's normally 3 or 4 other people bursting to stand on the stage in front of 500 people. So, yeah, don't put the square peg in the round hole. Offer opportunities to everybody. Yeah, don't assume that people have skills as well. Find out what your staff have, or the people that you're working with alongside. Find out what their skills are. Don't assume that they haven't got the experience. Like as a 50-year-old in my last role, someone said something to me about, at any events, they sort of put down that I wasn't good at events because my role at that time wasn't doing events. And I thought, okay, I've been doing events and standing on stages and talking to people for 30 years, but no one asked. This person hadn't asked. They just assumed because in the role that I was sitting, I wasn't doing events at that present time, that I didn't do events. So yeah, I'll leave it there and take all up the time, but I can go on a lot about what a leader is as a woman, how you should be. Hope that's helped. A few little tips there.
Yeah, so in terms of authenticity, being in women leadership, I think Lisa has brought up a really good point, which is in terms of communication and empathy, right? What we want to do in terms of authenticity is to know and recognize that there are people who are really probably, okay, I would say all of us, we do have our strengths and also our weaknesses. And what we want to do is to focus on the strengths on the team members. What are they really good at? And put them in the right position. Now, there is this book, From Good to Great by James Collins. I think he wrote something that's really great about a bus. If somebody is not fitted to be in the bus, get the person off the bus, right? So don't force the person into it. So it is going to be difficult. So recognize them and be empathetic about it, right? Communicate to them. So that's what Lisa had put out. And that is, I think, the key strength of a women entrepreneur or a women leader, to really have that kind of empathy. I think that's in us, probably the soft skills. I'm not going to stereotype that only women has this thing about being empathetic, right? But generally, probably we have certain intuition, and we have more of this thing about feeling for others, that we would know that if a person isn't feeling comfortable, we can sense it. Use that strength. I would say, being a women leader, when I was with my two other founders, and because we are in the financial industry, we are in the education industry, and later on we went into the fintech industry, we had a lot of tech people. We have a lot of analysts, investment analysts. We are all into numbers, into engineering. And me being a women leader, at times, it really comes out handy being able to sense that something is wrong. Now, is this going to be like me going to have data to prove, to show that something is wrong? No, it's based on sensing. And that sensing would, of course, we don't just say everything we're based on women's intuition or sensing, but once we can sense that something is really wrong in the culture, in certain team members, what we could do is we can approach them now, and we can actually start to talk to them, communicate with them. There are times as a leader, we are not just there to say that we are here to let you meet your goals or your KPIs, and put you and every day work on maybe your jobs. There are times we probably need to know when we could maybe just be ourselves, be a friend, right? And that's what authenticity is. That today you work with me, we are in a team together, let's talk. And we may not want to talk about work. We may just want to talk about something that's out of this world. And that is where, if something goes wrong, we would know probably it may not be at work. It could be something that is in their private life that is affecting their performance at work. Although we would say we need our team members to be professional, but the thing is this: we are all human beings. There will be times, for example, our parents or someone at home is not feeling well, having a serious illness. Are we going to say we are going to be professional and not think about it and not feel sad about it? I think it's going to be very hard, right? So that would also give the person a bit of a space. So for me, as a women entrepreneur or a women leader sitting in that position, having the authority, where we are able to use that in the female leadership, that actually is our core strength that we should leverage. Okay, so we have talked a lot about authenticity. So last but not least, maybe Shirley, you want to share with us just maybe one thing. Okay, if there's a word or a phrase that we want to talk about authentic leadership, what is that word or phrase that you want to end this session with?
I want to say, I think, be creative. Be your own creative person.
Yeah, be your own creative person. Yeah, that's great. Lisa, what would you say, like a word or a phrase when you talk about authentic leadership or authentic authority?
Be yourself.
That's true.
Don't be anybody else. Be yourself.
Yes. Be yourself. Thank you so much, Lisa. And for me, to be an authentic leader, yeah, it is to be vulnerable when it calls for it. We do not need to just always be strong, like what Lisa said. Frankly speaking, it's just to be ourselves, right? Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I really wish that you have learned something in terms of being an authentic leader. And if you have more comments for us, please feel free to type in the comments below what you would like to hear more of, be into relationship, into women's leadership, into entrepreneurship, or into financial management. We are here to share more with you in Global Sexitude. So if you are with us and you have been listening to us, thank you for listening to our podcast. But if you are new and this is your first time, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe so that more women and of course other entrepreneurs and to-be entrepreneurs would like to learn more can join us in this podcast. See you. Bye.
Bye.